Welcome, everyone. We are about to go on a journey into one of the deepest secrets hidden in the Torah, a secret about the matriarch Sarah. It's a mystery that completely reframes her life, suggesting that her true purpose, her real story, wasn't 127 years long, but a very specific and incredibly powerful 37 years. Let's get into it. And it all starts right here. This single, mind-bending quote from the Zohar. I mean, think about it. The Torah is clear. Sarah lived 127 years. But then the Book of Secrets, the Zohar, comes along and says, nope, her true life, the essence of her entire existence, was just these 37 years. This isn't just a number, it's a cosmic key, and we're about to use it to unlock the whole story. So here's our roadmap. We're going to tackle this like the ancient mystics would. First, we'll look at the riddle itself, the plane paradox. Then, we'll zoom out to see the cosmic forces at play, the archetypes. After that, we dive deep into the secret, the 37-year crucible where Sarah does her real work. This all leads to the climax, the binding of Isaac, which, as you'll see, is a cosmic validation. And finally, we'll understand Sarah's true secret legacy.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning, the literal level, the pshat. This is where we first hit the wall, where we find a contradiction that seems, on the surface, totally impossible.
Right. So on one hand, you have the Torah telling us, plain and simple, she lived 127 years, a full, complete life. But then the Zohar drops this bombshell. Her true life, her essential mission, was only 37 years long. So what does that even mean? Is the Zohar just deleting the other 90 years? I mean, what about her journey from her time as a prophetess, becoming a mother at 90? All of that just doesn't count? It doesn't make sense.
Exactly. And the clue is right there in the name of the Torah portion itself, Haye Sarah, the life of Sarah. See, the Zohar isn't erasing her other years. It's doing something much more radical. It's saying that the core reason her soul came down to this world, her ultimate spiritual function, was activated, executed, and completed inside this very precise 37-year window. Everything else was the setup, the prelude. But these 37 years, this was the show.
And to understand why this was the show, we have to level up. We need to stop looking at Abraham, Sarah, and Isaac as just people in a history book. We have to see them the way the mystics do, as living, breathing embodiments of cosmic forces. We're leaving history behind and entering the world of the Sephirot.
Okay, check this out. Abraham, he is the archetype of Chesed. Think of pure, unbounded, infinite love and mercy. A brilliant white light that just expands and gives, with no limits. But then, Isaac is born. And Isaac is the polar opposite. He embodies Gevurah. That's disciplined strength, strict judgment, boundaries, structure. Think of an intense, contracting, red-hot flame.
And boom, there's the cosmic problem. The world needs both of these energies to exist. It needs that endless love, Chesed, but it also needs a structure of Gevurah, of judgment. Right? Without judgment, love just becomes a chaotic flood. But without love, judgment becomes a cold, crushing force that extinguishes all life. And for the very first time, these two raw, primal, opposing forces are manifested in one family, in a father and a son. So you have to ask, right? How on earth can these two things coexist? How can the white light of Abraham and the red flame of Isaac be in the same place at the same time without one of them just completely wiping out the other, or without creating a paradox that would literally rip the fabric of reality apart? What or who could possibly stand between them? And now we get to the heart of the secret, the sod. Because the answer to that cosmic riddle isn't a what, it's a who. And the answer is Sarah. She is the great harmonizer. She's the missing piece of the entire puzzle.
So, in the language of Kabbalah, Sarah represents the Sephirah of Malchut, or kingdom, the divine feminine principle. But this isn't about being a passive queen. No way. She is an active spiritual force. Her entire being is a living, breathing crucible. Her soul was literally designed to be the sacred vessel that could take in the infinite white light of Abraham's love and the intense red flame of Isaac's judgment, and not just contain them, but perfectly weave them together. She is the living architecture of harmony.
And the Zohar tells us exactly how long this cosmic engineering project took. It took 37 years. Not 36, not 38, 37. That number represents the precise critical runtime required for her to forge this perfect, stable balance inside the soul of her son. This was her entire mission.
You can almost see it like a spiritual arc, unfolding over time. Year 1, Isaac is born. The system initializes. This raw, untempered energy of Gevurah enters the world. It's full of potential, but it's also incredibly dangerous. For the next 12 years, Sarah's work is all about early integration. She's nurturing him, taking that infinite Chesed from Abraham and using it to contain and shape Isaac's power. Then, from age 13 to 36, the work shifts. She achieved this perfected balance, where the red and white energies aren't fighting anymore. They're literally weaving together into a stable, luminous whole inside of Isaac, through her. And it all culminates in year 37, when the perfected system is finally ready for its ultimate test.
So, for anyone who's a gamer out there, here's a way to think about it. Sarah is on a 37-year-long quest. The main objective? Forge the hero, Isaac. And she has two super powerful but totally opposite power-ups. She's got the infinite love buff from Abraham and the ultimate discipline buff that's just Isaac's default setting. Her job, over 37 levels, is to perfectly balance these two. Too much of one, the character is useless. But if she gets it just right, he's ready for the final boss. Or if you're more of a tech person, think of it as a cosmic engineering project. Isaac is born as this incredibly powerful new Gevurah hardware. It's got amazing specs, but it's useless without an operating system. Sarah's 37-year project is to install and harmonize the Chesed OS from Abraham onto that hardware. These 37 years are the QA cycle, the beta testing, making sure the system is 100% stable before running the most critical program of all time.
You know, both of those analogies point to the same incredible mystical truth. For 37 years, every single moment of every single day, Sarah's soul was the living crucible. She was actively, consciously tempering the searing red flame of pure judgment with the boundless white light of pure mercy. She was creating something the universe had never seen before, holy power in perfect balance.
And all of that work, every single one of those moments, leads to this, to the mountain, to the Akedah, the binding of Isaac. We always think of this as Abraham's story, his ultimate test. But the Zohar pulls back the curtain and shows us that it was actually the grand finale, the final validation of Sarah's 37-year mission. So we have to ask a new question. What was the binding of Isaac really about? Was it just God testing Abraham's faith? Or was something much, much bigger going on? The mystics tell us that on the secret level, the test wasn't just on the engineer, Abraham. The real test was on the system that he and Sarah had built together. The Akedah was the ultimate stress test. It was pushing the system to its absolute limit. Here you have Isaac, the perfected being, facing total annihilation. Would the balance hold? At the moment of ultimate judgment, the knife coming down, would mercy still be perfectly integrated? Could he submit to his father's love for God, the ultimate Chesed, without his own nature, his Gevurah, rebelling and breaking free? That was the test.
And this is it's a stunning concept. The Zohar teaches that when Isaac passed that test, when the system held under maximum stress, that one moment on the mountain didn't just prove it worked. It was a decisive execution checkpoint that sent a wave of validation backwards in time, retroactively defining the success of every single second of her 37-year project. Her soul was right there, bound to that moment. Everything she was, everything she did, hung in the balance.
And that is the incredible secret of why the Torah places the news of her death immediately after the story of the Akedah. It's not that she died of a broken heart when she heard the news. No, it's so much deeper. Her death was the mystical signal that the mission was complete. The system was validated. The ram was offered. Isaac was unbound. The project was a total success. Her work was done. And her soul could finally go home.
So when you put all of these pieces together, it completely changes how we see Sarah, doesn't it? It reframes her place not just in the family, but in the entire cosmic drama of creation.
Her true legacy is just breathtaking. She's not just the wife or the mother, she is the harmonizer of cosmic opposites, the vessel of divine balance. She is the elevated feminine principle in action. She is the secret architect of Isaac's very soul, and because of that, she is the true foundation of an entire people built on this impossible balance of mercy and judgment. She's not a supporting character in the story of the patriarchs. She is the hidden, silent, powerful center of the entire narrative.
Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Part S. It's our hope that these ancient, powerful truths can help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. Find the places where you can be the harmonizer. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please do like, subscribe, and share which part of this journey really touched your soul in the comments below. We love reading them. We'll see you in the next chapter.